Okay, very good. Are we recorded? Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Parker Planning Meeting, Council meeting for the 21st of March. We only have 3 items on the agenda. Pastor Dave, oh man, magic, take you to Vegas. Go ahead.
Father, we come to you and we say thank you. We live in a wonderful country where we can still make decisions, God, that govern us. God, I ask you, Lord, to be with us tonight, God, in this group, God, as they deliberate, God, make decisions that shape and form our city. Be with us now. Bless us. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Chapel.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. All right. So we got here. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Barrow? Mr. Chappell? Ms. Galbraith? Here. Ms. Gibson? Mayor Kelly?
Here. At this time, before we proceed on with the items in our agenda for tonight, if there's anybody in the audience that would like to discuss a non-agended item, please come to the podium and you may do so at this time.
Good evening, everyone. Pat Fosick, 1344 Stratford. Just a couple of questions that were not on the agenda. Status of the Kim property on Highway 98. Status of the Thomas property on 2nd Street. And also, I believe, Mayor Kelly, that you mentioned that the pier is going to be open or completed in June, the one at Earl Gilbert Park.
Midsummer.
Okay.
That's what the contractor says, that it will be open by midsummer. So what do you call that? June or July is what I estimate that to be.
Okay, thank you.
As far as we know, this morning we went and looked. We think the poles are all in at this time. The crane has been moved and the barge has been moved from the last place they put the poles in the water. I don't know exactly how many poles they're going to put in there, but apparently it looks like by the shape by the map we have that is the final configuration. It's difficult to say from the land looking out if that is the full 440 feet or not, but I'm pretty sure they're where they're going to be, pretty close to it, if that helps you at all. And on your other 2 questions, I don't want to give a public answer. I will tell you tomorrow I will get an answer from the code enforcement officer, have him give you a call, because I don't know the exact time of that disposition on those properties. Sooner than better, I would hope. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anybody else got something for me?
Linda Cope is doing her Warrior Parade again.
Diane, what's your address?
Oh, Diane, 1521 Dover Road, Coates. Anyway, it's like April 13th, question mark. I don't know for sure if I heard it right. But we were not to participate anything again this year and go down 98.
No, ma'am, they've already selected the people that are going to do that.
So we're not putting out flags. They're not.
Not that
going
I
to
know
go
of. Ms.
there?
Cope and I have not had that conversation. Jerry Tabbitt's heading the program, and they've already got their agenda the way they want it.
Okay. My other little thing is that I just found out 2 years ago when you all had your voting before, at the Easter egg hunt, you were able to put up a table and like have a meet and greet. You did at Easter egg hunt.
Ma'am, the Easter egg hunt's not for the city of Parker. It's Mr. Chappell's private organization.
Correct, but I'm saying at this time, I believe you all did it.
I didn't.
That was with the League of Women Voters.
Here?
The League of Women Voters had that set up at the same time as the Easter egg hunt, and that was set up with the
Here.
previous, or that park.
But it was at that time, so who do you do?
But that was through the previous administration, and it was through the League of Women Voters. They set
So,
that up.
okay, sorry, I thought it was y'all, cause there was pictures or whatever, me scanning the old internet thing. That was it. Our Easter egg hunt is still on, doing the, putting all the eggs together and everything is still on.
Ma'am,
23rd.
Mr. Chappell's gonna give us a briefing on that.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm third.
Oh, he's not, oh,
We haven't got that far yet.
okay, that's it, cause she's been in charge, that's all.
Okay, the minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I don't know how to say this without being prejudiced, but I don't like cats. And
Is this gonna be categorized under one of the
yeah,
good
this
questions?
is a this is a high quality issue
Okay.
for the city. Well, we seem to have a
Name and address.
pretty significant population of feral cats, at least down on our neck of the woods, past that trailer park and on down, and they're all black, and that freaks me out. But
Okay.
I'm saying that I know we don't probably have a animal control, but is there something we could do? Because there's just
Coyotes.
more cats and more cats and more. You know how cats are.
They are.
They're like
They're
rabbits.
they're like cats.
Yeah, and rabbits.
Um,
And I just, it's not
Mr.
trivial.
Mr.
because,
And it's not, because I see them out there all the
it's
time. The
not. And
public
I'm just
works
thinking,
guys
is
get
there
sick of
some
walking in their
humane
mess,
way,
you know.
or get the animal control or something.
Okay. Let me do some research, because they charge us for each animal.
They will bring traps, but
They will bring
Only
traps, but
so
they
many.
bill us for how many we pick
we're
up.
only allowed to bring so many per week to animal control.
Well,
Right.
By the time they,
Now, the ladies that have been picking them up and having them fixed,
there are some people doing that.
2 ladies do
Oh,
that.
okay.
And
That's
and
great.
that's great, but I don't think they can keep up with the volume, to be honest with you. Because like you say, they're cats, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Chappell, can we give some away on Easter egg day? For the runner-ups, get a cat? Maybe, I don't know.
I know it's not high-level governmental stuff, but
but it's a regular complaint. We get it.
We-
it
all
is
the
an
time.
issue, and
And
I
I
don't want to run over a black cat. I just
A
don't.
white cat would be all right, is what you're saying there, right?
No, I won't run over.
Let
a
us do some research next Monday.
It is an issue.
It is an issue.
Thanks.
And we'll see what the outcome is.
What is your address, Mr. Tyndall?
What's your address?
1201 East Park,
Okay.
all down East Park, by that trailer park, anyway. They come out of nowhere.
A guy hit me yesterday with Muscovy ducks. There are apparently thousands of them on the lake. And apparently they roost on his dock, and it makes it slippery.
They'll fly away.
Cause
Yeah.
you can fix that.
Yep, that you can fix. Does anybody else have anything for us before we move on? No? Okay, great, thank you. Approval of the minutes.
I make a
Council,
motion
you-
that we, approve the minutes as presented March 6th and March 7th meeting.
Second.
Got a first and a second, ma'am, would you call the roll?
Ms. Burrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chappell? Yes. Ms. Galbraith? Yes. Ms. Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Kelly?
Yes, they were short minutes. The first item on the regular agenda is the parcel division of 4935 Sharon.
I did give you all another piece of paper today.
You
from
did.
Mr.
From reading the minutes and the documentation from the engineer and what you gave me, Madam Clerk, apparently they are compliant with the amount of square footage necessary for this, right? Anybody have anything we'd like to talk about? Did you have a chance to look at the schematic that they gave us? This is up on East Bay and runs between Sharon and East Bay.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Summerlin's not here to answer them, so I don't know if you can answer them or not, but it appears that the driveway is gonna go beyond the roadway.
He will have
Is
to
that a
access it.
concern?
He will have to access it down Julia Lane. And
Okay.
run sewer and water. There's sewer and water on Sharon, but not down Julia.
So, Council, just so you know, we just did one on Lake Drive. That's not our expense. If you have to put in a sewer tap or whatever it is, that's done at the cost of the builder. So that's a good question you have actually there. So, but Sharon, Julie Lane is an actual thing. It can be traversed.
From my
What-
understanding, it's only a 50-foot road,
A 50-foot, yeah,
so
goes to the water.
I don't think it does. It doesn't go all the way to the water.
It doesn't, it goes to the grass.
It's a public access.
It's a public access road. It is a public access road.
So-
You're right, it's, the concrete stops, but the easement goes all the way to the water.
So that will put the driveway going down an easement. Is there a concern about that?
Is that the
From a
driveway,
legal
Mr. Sloan, do you
perspective?
think, or is that just a? Okay. I wish Mr. Summerlin was here, he'd give us a better insight. The individual that wants to build this, is he in the room by chance?
Yes.
Okay, have you talked to Mr. Summerlin, do you have any insight into this?
I'm not. I don't have any insight at all on the reference to that.
Okay. Could we get your information, contact number, do we have one?
She does.
And let me call Mr. Summerlin tomorrow, because he's not coming in tonight.
Okay.
And we will give you a call and then reconvene this back with the city council. Has it been to planning, or did this not have to go to planning, did it? No.
asking for a personal.
Right, right.
Just asking.
Because he's our expert on this, but she's right, the concrete does actually stop
Right.
before you get to the bay. So would that be sufficient for you if I get with Mr.
Sure.
I have a lot on my plate in the morning, it'd be in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Absolutely.
All right.
And we would continue that drive if we needed to.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be. These lanes, I think there are 7, there might be 9 throughout the city of Parker. Some of them do have concrete, most of them do not have concrete leading all the way to the water. And I don't know if the way it's engineered, if the rainwater, when it runs down that street, if it was left that way intentionally, so it would disperse on that grass. But that's what we got to find out. So I'll get with the clerk, get your number and your information, and tomorrow I'll get with Summerlin, Mr. Summerlin, and then we'll give you a call and put it back on the agenda.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, sir.
And then my other question or concern is, so making sure that, I don't know the legal problem with running a driveway through a city easement, because I think that that's what the end of the property is. I'm not 100% sure. But then also, I think that it's gonna be the only piece of property that would have 2 houses, one in front of the other like that. Which seems.
The only one that I would say
peculiar
was
to me.
close was on Blackshear. There's an easement on Blackshear that runs down. I'm not even sure what it's called anymore, but that's more or less the same configuration on both sides of the road. They've got like a big building in the front and then a nice blue home on the back side. And then the road's kind of in bad shape since the storm, and we haven't had the money to repair it yet, but I don't know. I'll have to get an answer for you. I don't know.
Okay, all right, thank you.
This was the first I saw of it on the agenda this time. Tony hadn't mentioned it to me. The library, is the librarian here by chance? Okay, council, you have in your packets, a list of the dates. How are you, ma'am? I seen you waving to me when I was over at the police station.
Saw you today.
I can only see you from here up.
You
behind your
should come in
desk.
sometime.
Yes, ma'am, I didn't have time today. I just didn't have time today. We were working on something pretty important. So, okay, very good. So my understanding is from talking to the clerk and the council have before you, you want to change the dates that you're closed so it will accommodate you a little bit better.
Yes.
And I have your schedule here, and that's nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to get more people to come in? Make pizza
I
or
don't
something
know.
like
I
that?
mean, I'll do whatever it takes at this point, actually.
Well, after the last time you came before us, you should be aware that several people went over and met with you, and they come back and told me that it was a wonderful meeting and that they were really happy with how you're running the library. So that's a good
I
thing.
love it. It's such a great little place, and the people are wonderful.
It's
so.
unfortunate you don't have 2 days back to back. Do they give you
Right.
paid time off? They give you leave?
Yes, but if
still
we were
need it,
if
yeah.
we were able to change it, then I would have Sunday and Monday off together, which would be really nice.
Be nice. Yeah.
Monday is typically really slow. Yesterday there was
yes.
15. Today I had 27. Last
Right.
Tuesday I had 45 people, and it
Yep.
was hopping. A lot of new people. It was spring break, and it was very busy that day. But
Very good.
I would love to change it if possible.
So you want Sunday, Mondays off is what you're asking?
I do, and
Nothing
then-
else would change, just Sunday, Mondays.
Right. So then I would be open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
So you work 4 10s, in other words.
7.5
So,
hours
okay,
per day.
sounds
yes.
good. Any comments, council? What do you think?
So now we're currently closed on Sunday and Wednesday.
Sunday,
Sunday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday, and Friday.
Friday's right for everybody, yeah.
Yes. But I have a lot of people say that they have to check Google every time they come because they're like, oh, you know, are you open today? And why are you closed midweek? And
Well, I'd like to see you have 2 days off in a row. That's what I'd like to see happen.
I would too.
I bet you would.
And I have collected almost 50 surveys from my patrons
Yeah.
asking if they would be okay with this change.
Yeah.
Because my boss at the Bay County Library said it has to be good for the community, not
Yep.
just for me.
That's
And
right.
everybody has agreed
enough.
that Monday would be a good day to be closed.
Okay.
Plus you have a bunch of federal holidays and there's a lot of dead Mondays anyway, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you got the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yes.
And then it would be what times?
It's the same, 10 to 5.
10 to 5.
Mhm.
I don't see a problem with it.
Neither
And
do I.
Honestly, I feel like that would work better.
Need to make a motion to do that?
Yep, need a recommendation in a second.
Motion that we go ahead and approve it, so that-
So we're gonna make a recommendation that she'll be closed regular Fridays and then Sunday, Monday. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Would you call a roll, please?
Ms. Burrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel? Ms. Galbraith?
Yes.
Ms. Gibson?
Yes.
Mayor Kelly?
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask you one
Appreciate it.
question though?
Yes.
For people that bringing books in, do you have a location that they can drop them in?
Yes, I have a book drop.
You do have a
Yes,
book drop?
it's under the first window by the side door.
Yep.
Yes. And a
Have
lot
you
of
got
times-
some you haven't returned, Mr. Chappell? We need the money.
Should we check his card?
Yeah, check his card. All right, thank you,
So
ma'am. You're doing a great
You're all
job.
fine with that then?
The council voted on
Okay,
it.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
It works better for our schedule too.
That's what Jamie was saying.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. It makes it easier for us when people call too, if we have them in a row.
And the monthly budget, you didn't give me one, but I know it exists.
Yes, it's stapled to number 3.
Gotcha. It's from the departments. Yep, I didn't get it. Sorry. I probably got it, lost it on the desk. Oh, yeah, I read this already. Well, Council, you've had a chance to look at the monthly budget. It is what it is.
So I have questions.
Go for it.
My first and most important question probably is this an approved set of books? It's been closed out. Has Suzanne looked at it and approved it? And have all the department heads looked at it and approved it?
We have all looked at it as department heads. I don't know, has Suzanne closed it out, Julie?
She took off on this, but I'm going to say that the week before that she was here, we went through everything and it was fine with her, I mean, for what we could fix at that time. And then we sent it to department heads and they got an approval back.
So then it's not a true set closed month of books? If Suzanne hasn't really looked at it for the final
You mean,
approval?
like reconcile?
Okay.
Okay, so then my second, probably my only real concern with the numbers on here, the one that stood out to me the most was the overtime in the fire department.
Yeah.
We've almost hit our budget for that.
Yep.
And I thought that we hired somebody and that was supposed to help with.
He starts April 14th. He's having the
Yeah,
There you go.
we've been short for 5 months.
So he hasn't come on board yet, so that's
No,
why we're still
I'm
having to
praying
pay all
he's
the
still gonna
overtime.
show up the 14th. Now, the budget, if you look at the entire fire department budget, although they used up their overtime, they didn't use up all their salary and benefits because
Yeah,
there were
not
2
even
employees
close
short.
on
That's
salary.
why. So when we do a mid-year adjustment, it'll balance out black.
Those were my questions on the budget.
Anybody else? Mr. Chappell? Anything from the audience?
Pat Posick, 1344 Stratford. On page 1 of 10, where we've got the local infrastructure half-cent tax, there's 2 line items. One is 0, the other one is $530,000 budget, yet we show income in the second one, which has a 0 forecast. I don't know, do we need both? Is it just
I think Ms. Galbraith can answer that for you. Ms. Galbraith?
I don't know that I can. It looks to me like there's just a subsidiary number that needs to go away.
Okay.
I think they're just supposed to be combined.
Okay, that's what I thought, I just wanted to ask. Also too, on page 1, the local ordinance violations, is that fees or fines for code violations? Is that what that category is for?
That's probably a mixture of all the income that's generated from code enforcement cases.
Okay, then I have a question, because we show year-to-date balance 5769.04. I believe Miss Kim was cited 75 or maybe even 8,500 within the last 30 to 45 days?
She paid that when?
8 months ago, probably?
No, she was cited again at this most recent quasi-judicial, if I'm not mistaken. That's why I'm asking the question.
No,
She was not?
she was not. That's not correct.
Okay,
I believe that the quasi judicial gave the total amount that
Yeah.
she had been cited.
right?
Is
But
that
it was
correct,
not-
Mr. Sloan?
This month, it was the total, and she paid it
Way
months
back
ago.
when.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
she was not cited again because there were people sitting behind me and I asked, when is the payment due? And they said, it was due within, I think she had 90 days to pay it. She mentioned something about selling the property and my concern was that she sells it before we have a chance to get that money and I don't see it reflected here.
So
Yeah.
she already paid it, it was the end of beginning of fall, it was before the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's why it's not allocated in this year's budget.
Okay, I'll go back and look at the minutes then, or the recording.
and
Well,
then
one
one-
of us can pull the record and tell you when she paid it, but I believe you're correct. I believe it was the month before we closed.
Okay, and again, I'm understanding that she was just recently fined. That's why I'm questioning it. I don't know, I have no problem with what she paid before, but I'll double check.
You should also be aware, ma'am, that she was given a chance. They've taken this to appellate court. If that does not occur, then that property's coming down.
Okay.
Yep.
So did they get an injunction to stop the demo?
Yes,
Okay.
well,
Did they get an injunction? Okay.
That's it. Once the appeal is done,
We
it's
have to
coming
stop.
down.
Okay. On page 4 of 10, legal professional services under code enforcement, are those associated with having to review, come to the quasi-judicial, all of those expenses that we incur from Mr. Sloan? And are they billed back to those code enforcement respondents? The violators, do we know?
they will be.
Okay. And I think.
Thank you, ma'am.
Page 4 of 10. Code enforcement, there's $35,000 budgeted for, maybe 31.2 budgeted for legal fees. I was just curious if the city will get that money back.
Well, we do, but it doesn't come back quickly. It takes a
Understand.
while to come back.
Just wanna make sure that we're billing for it.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you,
very
ma'am. Have a
much.
good day. Task list, council. You should have it before you. Madam Clerk, could you give us an update on what we see? We're waiting for the date. What date was the 5 and 10-year plan we were gonna have? I think it's listed here,
It's after, it's
May 1st.
May the 1st. Yep. And the,
Procedure manual.
yep,
Is on April 3rd.
yep,
User fees will also be discussed on April 3rd.
yep.
Zoning changes, we don't have an update, and the grant writer will be discussed on April 3rd.
Yeah, when is she coming to speak to us? Do we know?
April 3rd.
April 3rd, okay. Okay,
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
The zoning changes.
yeah,
There is a TPO meeting coming in April.
yeah.
I believe the last time we talked, you were going to talk to the planning commission to find out exactly what you wanted me to ask for.
Yes.
I'm
Should
not
I have
sure if
Mr.
you've done
Rager
that.
contact you? Would that be better?
I'm-
Then he could reach out to his crew and then speak to you about it?
I'm perfectly fine to handle that if you'd like me to.
Yep, I would love you to do that.
Okay, I got it.
Mr. Rager? Thank you, sir. Okay, comments and announcements. Mr. Chappell, you're up, sir.
Well, the only thing I got to say about is the Easter egg hunt for stuffing the eggs is Thursday this week. It looks like we've got about 2,500 eggs to stuff with candy and other items. We've got to work on the Easter baskets. I've got the stuff for the Easter baskets.
What day is it you're meeting at the lodge for everybody to participate in making the eggs or whatever it is you're doing?
Thursday,
This Thursday, day after tomorrow.
between 5 and 5:30.
Okay.
At the Masonic Lodge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I got the tables all set up where we can spread it out and each of us take a bunch of eggs or whatever. It looks like, I really appreciate the citizens of Parker. They've, overdone themselves as far as, getting candy and getting eggs and getting baskets. I really appreciate that. It's, you know, I'm glad to see we got people interested in supporting the kids and, hoping the kids have a good time. We do have some games, out there coming. We got, pizza coming. No hot dogs this year, but, we have,
Chocolate and pizza.
now we got the popcorn. We just bought a new machine, so we're gonna have popcorn. We have to learn how to use it, but, I think we put it together and try it out. Got, the drinks and stuff like that. We got, a little over, I think about 400 bottles of water, and then we got other drinks, so hopefully it's gonna be a good time, and then, if you would make sure that we have a good sunny afternoon tonight. No rain or nothing.
Talk to your boss about it, right? That's right.
For people who don't know, it's gonna be over here at the Memorial Park. So we're having 3 different locations, for small kids, medium kids, and older kids. And, we're trying to cut it off at 10 years old. Getting to feel like the 11 to 12-year-old kids most of them are so involved in other things that, I don't think they really know what an Easter bunny is. But we do have an Easter bunny coming,
The big bunny.
and I think maybe we've got Channel 7 coming. Take pictures of it.
Ms. Galbraith.
The only thing I have is I did reach out to Tracy Chapman, our former
She's
Kendall
gone.
Air Force. Yes,
Mhm.
I had reported that a couple months ago or so, but she has responded with our new liaison, and I'm wondering, does
Invite
somebody-
them to come and see us.
Yeah, do you want me to pick that up and respond to her and go ahead and
I have reached out to
you have
both
already
of
done it?
those,
Okay.
and I sent them this agenda and like the flagpole that's going on at East Bay and all that, so I started looping them into everything.
Have they contacted you? Okay, if it's all right with you, then I
Go
would like to
for
make
it.
a personal
And
call.
I'd love to get that person's name and number as well.
Two different.
Oh, it's 2 folks, is it? Okay.
I don't know if they know if he's doing what yet, but I have started sending them agendas.
Okay.
Ms. Barrow?
I got a couple of things. There seems to be some information being put around Parker, that I feel that needs to be, straightened out, about our excavator that is being said that the mayor bought it. No, that was voted on by the council December the 7th. Mr. Chapel wasn't here, and I made the motion. April, seconded, and, it was voted in by the mayor, myself, and April. Ms. Galbraith voted no on it, but it was bought by the council, and it was purchased by the direction of the council for the mayor to buy it. We voted to spend $210,000. It actually was 2008, $915.99. And just wanted to get that out there, that it wasn't, the mayor just didn't go out there and buy an excavator. And the other thing was the $25,000 that was mistakenly put to this and that and other. Actually, the money went where it was supposed to go. It was just that it was typoed into the budget on the wrong lines that made it look like it didn't go where it was supposed to go, but that's, just get that out there.
What 25,000 are you referring to?
A few years ago, there was a payment made that was supposed to be made on the rescue truck, because it was,
Okay.
you remember?
I'm on the, yes,
And then
I'm on the
everybody
same-
thought that a mistake was made, and then erroneously reported it, that it was made erroneously. But in fact, it was the bank that made the mistake and transposed the figures inaccurately. But somehow I got the blame for it. And that's okay. But that's the truth. That's what happened. And we can document it.
Before the mayor took office.
Go ahead.
I
Ma'am?
have nothing.
Nothing? Mr. Sloan? Madam Clerk? I have one wonderful thing. Mr. Chappell was 82 years old day before yesterday. So, and he and his wife are going on a cruise Sunday. So I'm very happy. We had a great meal at the lodge, and everything went really, really good. And I'm proud to call him my friend. Thank y'all. I appreciate you coming.